What?
Baby.
What?
They're
Oh my
juiced up
gosh.
tonight.
Okay.
Wow.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to ABCD. I am the host, but I'm going to start out by introducing my cousin from another bumpin' fuzzlin', Omar Najam, ladies and gentlemen. Omar Najam.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. And I would like to introduce Rihanna's opening act, Sandeep Parikh.
Yes. I do a 40-minute TED Talk for opening act, yeah. Where
That's amazing.
I just talk about other TED Talks.
Oh, that's great. So I see. It's a TED Talk. Like, you've never done it at the actual official. It's just review.
No. I just sum up other TED Talks that I love. So this show, you guys, this is not that. This is not that opening act. Our show is ABCD. It's the American Born Chatty Desi. It's the podcast within a live stream, because we are technically live right now, within our two lives as two American Born Desis. It's a pod ducking, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to make t-shirts for that. This is for anyone out there who, like us, are just navigating our cultural identities and just want to chat it out.
Yes. What do we got on tap for today? You might be asking. Well, we've got some news stories where we're going to be asking ourselves, what's got us confused? Then we got an update of Auntie versus Auntie Watch 2024. We've got an interview with a special guest from Sandeep's family coming up. And then we've got, of course, our ABCD weekly game. This one is called We're All One Big Cousin.
The inbreeding edition. That's the title of our episode.
I did not know that was the name of the game until literally just now. And finally, we get to celebrate our Desi of the week, and then we close it out. But first, we got to thank someone. Do you know who that is, Sandeep?
I do, because I am seeing the script right now.
Oh, great. Well, in that case, you know that we've got to thank our first sponsor of the show, DesiQuest. That's right. It's a Dungeons & Dragons actual play series that stars me and Sandeep. It's set in a South Asian mythology-inspired universe built by star GM Jasmine, that bronze gold buller, with a stellar cast that also includes Critical Role darling Anjali Bhamani and Dimension 20 darling Rekha Shankar. All the episodes are out. You can watch the entire thing right now.
Yeah. It's very exciting. The whole thing is out. It's popping off. We're getting lots of love, and we super appreciate it. And we're probably going to be in more places live, like PAX. We were just at PAX East.
Yep.
As you saw in our previous episode. Hopefully we'll go to more. I'm not going to say that anything's definite, but, you know, if you're going to Gen Con, let's just say, stay tuned on our socials for that.
And also, I just want to give a shout out. I won't say necessarily any names or locations, but I was grabbing a beer the other evening, and a wonderful beer tender asked me as I was ordering, are we going to get a season 2? And I just thought that was really, really cool, kind of like in the wild. So that meant a lot to me. So it was very, very rad.
Wild.
So if you want to be also popping off in the wild, head over to DesiQuest.com, DesiQuest.com, or click the link in the show notes to be on our mailing list. You can also head over to Patreon.com/DesiQuest to become a citizen of the DesiQuest world and get exclusive content. Like when you watch an episode, you can also get a little after show that Sandeep and I got to host, along with a bunch of incredible guests. So check it all out, and thank you for supporting DesiQuest.
Yeah, the new little stream we got cooking is with our character artist Voodoo Val. So she right now is making the Wanderer's Guide to DesiQuest, and she's doing live art streams as she creates the entire world. They're super cool. So jump onto the DesiQuest Patreon and
it's so unbelievably rad. Yes.
And on that note, our second sponsor, you guys.
Oh,
yeah, it's you guys. It's the listening audience. Yeah, it sure is. So everyone that supported the show, we have just started up a new sort of Patreon endeavor for us at patreon.com/EffinFunny, EFFIN funny, and that's how you support this show, where I'm going to be making a movie this year. That's my hope. That's my dream. I'm manifesting it. I'm saying it out loud. I'm holding myself accountable, and I'm doing it on Patreon, inviting you in on the whole process. From casting to hiring a cinematographer to watching those reels before I decide to hire the cinematographer to watching movies together. We're going to be doing all that on our Discord through this Patreon. So if you want to support that endeavor and us over here, then yes, please head over to patreon.com/EffinFunny and throw a couple Lincolns at us. Support a couple of Desis in the creative arts. We love it.
Absolutely. So with all that in mind, should we start the episode?
I think we should.
All right, let's hop on over to What's Got Us Confused. Oh, there it is. Sandeep, do you mind if I hit you with a question real quick?
Oh my God, I was hoping you'd ask a question.
Okay, great. What do Rihanna, a glass palace adorned in flowers, custom Versace, and a nighttime show starring 5,500 drones have in common?
Me as the opening act doing
That's
TED
right.
Talks,
That's
according
right.
to your opening joke.
Yeah, that's right. According to my opening joke, that is a reality that we set, and I cannot negate that. They also, the thing they also have in common is they were all part of the most expensive pre-wedding in Indian history. How you feeling about that?
That's just the pre-wedding. Like,
Yeah,
I love
it's
that
not
they
the
just
wedding.
also took all the the sangeet and the
Mm-hmm.
the sort of official names of those events, the Mendi, the sangeet, or at least
Yeah.
who knows? India is a widely diverse culture, so
Mm-hmm.
but they took all those, whatever they were called, and were like, let's just call it pre-wedding. Pre-wedding is
Yep.
good enough.
This is
Amazing.
perfect. So let me give you a number and then ask you a question. Rihanna was paid 6.3 million to be at the pre-wedding. How expensive do you think the overall
discount.
pre-wedding was?
Oh, I'm gonna say 10x. I want to say it was $630 million. That's too much. Okay, my realistic guess, I'm gonna say the entire 3-day pre-wedding. Okay, so that's probably the centerpiece. I'm just gonna $55 million.
55 is very expensive. Okay, you want to stick with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that.
Okay, you're saying $55 million, which is a lot. No,
I mean,
you're
this
off
guy
by...
is like a bazillionaire. Am I way crazy?
Yeah,
off?
but there's like a limit to everything. This one costs $120 million.
Oh my! I like nice, good setup, good misdirect, good misdirect. I was like, oh no, I ruined the whole show. And then, wow, halfway there.
Yes, this was the...
$120 million.
Yes, yes, yes. This is because Anant Ambani, who is the son of Mukesh Ambani, who is the richest person in Asia, I believe, with a $110 billion fortune behind that name, held a 3-day-long pre-wedding with fiancée Radhika Merchant. The Ambani family actually owns a cricket team. This is my favorite sports name I've ever heard in my entire life. It's the Mumbai Indians.
Okay, yeah. So they just took Cleveland's.
It's an expat
Like-
club.
It's like a Mr. Baseball. But
Really?
listen, this actually does make sense, right? Because we have the Washington Nationals.
Yeah.
We have, there are. I mean, I guess there's no Americans, but there are kind of like the Patriots,
The
right?
Patriots, sure.
So it. I think it sounds sillier to us because of the Cleveland Indians thing,
Right.
Right?
Yeah, it does. It, like, when I hear that, it's so funny for us as Americans because I hear like a team's called the Indians and I'm like, that's problematic. Oh wait, sorry, you're in India.
Nope,
No,
nope,
I'm sorry.
that's totally fine. Exactly. I mean, it's interesting. My dad was very upset when the Cleveland Indians changed their name. He really was like, he's like, you shouldn't change the name, change the mascot. He was
To
like,
us?
yes. Like, do a picture of me. And I'm like, okay. He just was upset that, people were just talking about us less.
Yeah.
He just never really made the connection, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, but
That's
that's
amazing.
pretty
It's
wild.
just the football team is just Ravi Shankar's face just on like a billboard.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. And speaking of cricket, just want to give a shout out to women's cricket. The WPL, the Women's Premier League, is blowing up right now. Crowds are sold out, and they are just having an incredible season. And I personally haven't been someone who follows a lot of cricket, but now I'm kind of like, I think this might be the year I jump in.
I think we gotta do it, man. We gotta do. They're playing more games in America now, and so we gotta. I think they haven't come to LA specifically yet, but when they do, you and we're gonna take ABCD to a cricket game. I'm just saying that right now. Okay,
Yes. But on the subject of the wedding, though, I got to ask you, are you feeling more informed, confused, or baffled?
I mean, I'm not exactly sure that I was ever that confused. Like, I've been to some pretty ostentatious Indian weddings, and so it doesn't surprise me that the richest person in the world would be like, well, let's make the most absurdly ostentatious wedding on the planet. Like, that does not really surprise me. I'm gonna stick with I'm informed. Hey, I guess, why yuck their yum.
Yeah.
What about you? How you feeling?
Informed. Very straightforward. Right? If you're gonna have Rihanna, I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah, exactly. Before we move on, what's the one crazy if money was no object, what's the crazy extravagant thing you'd want at your wedding?
A Pegasus.
Okay, just like one that you'd construct yourself, or like an actual has to be genetically altered, like Island Dr. Moreau Pegasus?
Well, I don't like that you've called it a Dr. Moreau Pegasus.
Well, what else would it be?
Wait, doesn't that mean it would be like a person before it was a Pegasus?
Were they all people? I thought it was just like the movie Poor Things. You know how they okay, anyway.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I want to be clear. I don't want a Dr. Moreau Pegasus. Okay. I want like a real Pegasus that like Hercules hung out with from childhood. I want that one.
Okay, so that's impossible, but fine. Okay, I'll let it slide.
How about you?
Mine is like just a million past apps. I think past apps are the best part of weddings. And I think we should skip the dinner and just have constant past apps of all varieties.
What are you saying? Past apps? Pasta?
You don't know what a past app is?
You mean
the appetizers that they walk around in. They walk around during the cocktail hour. You know, you get like 4 appetizers, and it's always the best part of the wedding food. And then you get to the meal, and you're like, oh, it's like just like cafeteria style food. I mean, sometimes it's good.
What? Did you go to a recess themed wedding? What is this?
No, I mean it's never as good as the past app.
Okay. So I think this is a really achievable goal. I've got great news.
No, they're the most expensive thing, and I just want like an obscene amount of them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. A Pegasus amount, a Pegasusian amount.
A Dr. Moreau level. Yeah.
All right, moving on to story number 2.
All right.
Okay.
What are we looking at?
What's the What we're looking at is not something out of Island Dr. Moreau, unlike what you might think. This is a frog with a mushroom growing out of it. It's not a mushroom that's fallen on top of it. It's not a mushroom that's stuck onto it because it rolled onto a mushroom. It is a mushroom growing from within its being, okay? So a frog with a tiny mushroom sprouting out of its flank was observed by a group of nationalists at a roadside pond in Karnataka, India, in the first of its kind discovery, all right? So a rivers and wetlands specialist says, and this must be this guy's heyday, right? Like his phone's ringing off the hook today. He goes, when I first observed the frog with the mushroom, I was amazed and intrigued. My thought was to document it, as this phenomenon is something we've never heard of. We just wanted this to be a rare incident and not a dangerous phenomenon for the frog. The species right here is known as Rau's intermediate golden-backed frog and is found in abundance in southwestern India. They're small, growing up to only 2.9 inches long. Mm-hmm. Insert jokes about sizes. Or don't. Please don't. Naturalists watching the frog as it moved around changed. So the frog moved around and changed positions, but the mushroom remained perfectly in place, and the group did not touch the frog. This sort of means that it's definitively was growing from within it. Mycologists later identified the mushroom growing out of the frog's flank as a type of fungi that mostly grows on rotting wood from dead trees. Okay. So, and though the fungus typically gets its nutrients from dead or decaying matter, a 2023 study found that the mushroom could evolve to thrive on living plants as well, but never this.
Okay, so
here we are. What are we saying here?
This is The Last of Us,
Omar.
Right?
That was the first thing I thought of too. Yeah. Does this prove The Last of Us is real?
That's wild. So a mushroom is growing out of a frog.
Yeah. So it's a symbiotic relationship between this frog and mushroom, because it doesn't look like, because I know that there's like some funguses that control ants or something. They right?
Yeah.
Which is what I think was at the beginning.
Yeah,
the reason why I realize I know it is because it's the beginning of The Last of Us. So yeah, this is maybe the beginning of that for frogs. So what do you think, man? Are you would you want this frog as a pet?
Yeah.
Would you eat this mushroom?
No.
On a pizza?
No. Well, it's part of the... So, is this a thing that we could extract, or is it, like, part of the frog? The frog is just like, hey, man, don't. That's me.
I don't know. I think they just didn't mess with it I guess we'll have to just stay tuned and try to get updates like the Auntie versus Auntie Watch. Like we have to have a mushroom watch.
What I do love about this story is that it turns out herpetologists are just like us because they're just like, what's that? They take a picture of it and they just ask their friend and they go, what's that? Looks like a
I
mushroom.
guess I wonder,
Oh, yeah.
like, if they didn't take it off or they didn't mess with it, then how do they how do they know that's not just like a funky wart, you know?
Yeah, well, I guess a mushroom expert would be able to identify.
You mean a mycologist? Boom.
Yeah, a mycologist. That's right. This is so, and then mycologist was like, look, they probably could start to take over us living creatures, including the Rouse intermediate goldenback frog. So
Totally. I think this is
are you
ground
concerned? Like,
zero.
no, hold on. Are you concerned? Like, is this going to like? Should we be
Truly?
worried?
Like comedically, yes, I'm concerned.
Okay.
For the sake of this, yeah, I'm like concerned. But like truly, I think like I don't know, doesn't fungal infections like happen all the time? Like athlete's foot is fungal and like that's a thing. Like we
Yeah, I
have a
guess
lot
you're
of
right.
interaction with funguses. So I'm not that freaked out. If it was doing the whole ant mind control thing, I'd be totally freaked out.
Let me do a quick search really quickly.
No, yeah, we'll wait.
Nostradamus mushroom
Skeleton.
frog. Nostradamus mushroom frog. There's like some stuff that Nostradamus predicted, but it's
Yeah.
I don't see a mushroom frog in here.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well,
He
listen,
missed this one.
Where are you at? We know where Nostradamus is at. Are you informed, baffled, or confused?
I'm baffled.
You're baffled.
This
Yeah.
so far, this is all just observed. So far, experts have gone, yeah, we're looking at what you're looking at too, pal. We're in the same spot as you.
Yeah, we don't know. That was the
Okay,
the
well-
official dissertation on it. It was.
I guess we'll also, like you said, we're gonna have to introduce Mushroom Frog Watch 2024 to our ongoing rotation.
I think I'll stick with confused. That's where
Oh
I'll
my
stay.
god,
Just
yeah.
confused.
Well, I've got one last news story for you if you're ready for this.
Hit it.
Do you remember the line, anything can happen when two people share a cell, cuz, from Arrested Development?
I do now.
Well, that joke is going to be a dated reference at this point because it turns out the cousins are disappearing. According to sociologists and demographers, extended families are narrowing over time due to the decrease in fertility rates. International demographic data from every country in the world showed a, get ready for this, 38% global decline in living relatives for individuals aged 65 by the year 2095, which I believe is us.
Yeah,
At least
I'm
one of
gonna
us.
live that long.
You're pretty young. The sort of composition of this is a couple of things, but what they found is that, for example, Canadian data projects that the average Canadian 15-year-old girl will have just 3.6 living cousins in 2095, compared to 15.3 in 1950. This is a 76% decrease.
That's sad. That saddens me.
Okay, so in general, that's a big thing to think about. And a lot of this comes down to like we mentioned earlier, fertility rates, but also like people moving around the world, family branches sort of like spreading out, people having fewer kids within the family unit itself. But for us as Desis, right, cousins are a big thing.
Big thing. Like, is this gonna mean that like when people are like, "Hey, what's up, cuz?" Like, they'll be like, "Oh, cuz is this archaic term that meant when your brother's or your father or mother's sibling had kids." What? That's great.
Yeah.
You know, kind of how like the origin of the word goodbye is, God be with ye. People be
Yes.
like, cuz meant cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the new
this
penny farthing. Yeah.
Yeah. This scares me because, well, I guess just because of what I know, which is like
Mm-hmm.
I have 14. We have 14 cousins on my mom's side together, so we're right in that number, and we're such a close crew. I mean, that is the one WhatsApp group that I like always try to respond to. It's the one that I actually care about. These are people that I would trust. I just trust like wholeheartedly with, with my kid or with anything important in my life. Like, they are part of the reason why I know I will never go hungry. I will never could be destitute. I have way too much of a network, of a safety net of like cousins that where we all just love each other so much. So that bums me out. It scares me for my son, you know, to be honest. Like, well, he's okay because he's got a bevy of cousins, but like, just that next generation, like that kind of whittling down, that's kind of a bummer, you know. He's got a lot of cousins, but they're not like in the same age range as him, because my brother's way older. Blah blah blah. But I don't know. What about you? Like, what are you tight with your cousins? Is that?
Yeah, I am. Especially on my mom's side of the family. My dad's side of the family, a little bit less so, and that's something that I'm gonna look to amend. But on my mom's side of the family, absolutely, my cousins are like my best friends. And so when it's like a holiday, like we always like call each other. My cousin was in town a couple weeks ago, and I drove down to Anaheim at like the drop of a dime because like, let's get dinner, and we just like hung out and talked. It's like you have this connection, but also since it's not like a daily friend thing, you also get to like, I don't know, check in with each other, get like a different perspective on the world.
Yes. You can be like, hey, I really need to have a talk with you about like shit that's going on in my world. Because like they can be somewhat impartial, but also they know all the players. So you don't have to like spend all this time being like, okay, so this is who Foy is. This is who Foy is. Like, you know, you don't have to like go into the thing. You're just like, yo, I'm having this experience, and they can be right with you. It's so huge. I just don't know what I would do without that.
Yeah, this is so. We'll have to figure out a solution. Can you think off the top of your head what is a like? Should we maybe have a program where you can just like
people need to breed, dude? But also we need to create a sustainable society. You know, a functional system where people can support themselves and like actually support a family. I mean, I think that's you know. Chat's going off right now about like who can afford to have more than one or two kids. Like there's some jokes going on about it, but I think it's true. Like it's a big deal for us. Like we only have one, and I know that a huge reason why we don't have more is that we're like this is I'd have to change my career at this point to have more kids. I'd have to stop doing ABCD unless you get on Patreon right now. If we hit this goal, I will have another kid.
Talk about bringing a baby to a pitch meeting. That really.
Listen, Netflix, if you buy this idea, I will spawn another child. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I have a possible solution, you know, if society can't change to allow for families to be supported by society in the same way, which is I think that I'm going to create an AI that can replace cousins. So, for example, give me just, you know, any ambiguous complaint you would kind of give to a cousin, and I'll tell you what the AI response would be.
Yeah, like, oh my God, can you believe that we hired photographers for this wedding, but, you know, sorry, Subhash Mama, I'm calling you out, but Subhash Mama was like standing up and taking pictures the whole time anyway, and like getting in the photographer's way.
Okay.
Like, oh gosh.
I was setting this up for a joke.
Like, I love him, but come on.
My canned response was the AI was going to spit, well, you know how Uncle can be. So actually, I think this might have some legs.
Wow, nailed it.
Yeah. Okay. This might work. This might work.
What are you gonna call it? Cousin GPT.
ChaatGPT.
Chat. Oh, chat like Papu Chat.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. You did it.
Thank you. I'm sure it's a joke that's never been made ever before.
I think it hasn't, and I think you should make it, and I think Microsoft will give you $4 billion for it.
Oh, no, I don't want it. No thanks.
All right, where are we at? Confused, informed, baffled.
I'm personally, I'm concerned, but I feel informed. I wasn't aware that the cousins were going away.
Yeah, I'm informed by this. I wasn't aware either, and we gotta do something about it, guys. Start stupping. Okay.
And then tell your family members to do the same, I guess. It's a pretty specific issue we're dealing with.
Right. That's the thing is you don't have to have pressure to have kids yourself. Just pressure your siblings to have kids.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
There it is. All right. Well, that is what's got us confused. Next up, we've got a pretty interesting interview, but actually a montage of interviews.
Oh.
All right, so here's what we're doing. I actually, instead of an interview, I decided to, on the topic of cousins, I decided to send a prompt out to all of my cousins asking them, hey, what's one thing you're doing to pass the culture down or to celebrate the culture, some part of the culture that you're taking on and continuing to do, and then what's one thing that you're ditching? And so here are their responses.
Hi, I'm Nayan, Sandeep's cousin, and the one thing I'm going to take forward of our culture is Indian classical music. Listening to it, playing it, celebrating it. And that's Ken, my partner, playing my sitar in the background. Whoever's playing it, we both enjoy it so much. One thing I'm going to leave behind is incense. I don't ever need to have any of that in my house, ever.
Hi, I'm Rajiv. I'm Sandeep's older brother. One thing that I'm carrying forward is I go to India every quarter, and whenever I go there, I try to reconnect to some Indian heritage place. We went to Sri Lanka and we went to Ravana's palace just a little while ago. So I try to capture some part of that history because it helps connect me back to this amazing culture. When it comes to something I leave behind, I'd say it's a lot of the ceremonies. They're fun, they're interesting, they're good to do every now and then, but every day, even every week or every month, maybe not much so. But anyways, I love what we have. It's an incredible culture, and I love introducing other people to it, and I'm really happy that I am born the way I am.
Hey everyone, I'm Sanjeev. I am Sandeep's elder brother. The one thing I would remove from the culture, not the things themselves, but I think the guilt associated with it. So things like not vegetarianism, but vegetarian guilt and yoga guilt, meditation guilt, kurta pajama guilt. I think that clothing's too loose for me. But the one I'm going to pick is a subset of the yoga guilt, and that's breathing, because I don't know, I thought that was the one thing I could, with all the stresses in life, I could just leave for granted is breathing, but apparently not. No, I have to breathe a certain way and get my thumb here and exhale a certain way and inhale, all this stuff. The one thing I keep are the stories. My favorite is the Mahabharata. It's ironically about two families fighting each other, but there's so many great themes that come out of it. It's one where I'm just constantly thrilled, and I'm hoping that story really gets told, come out. I actually have a screenplay that I've been working on, and it's going to be great.
Hi, I'm Aditi, Sandeep's cousin, and the things I'd like to carry forward about Indian culture are Garba and Ras for sure, and also singing bhajans to my kids to sleep. That has been a surprise to me because I didn't think I even remembered the songs that were sung to me at bedtime many, many years ago. And here I am singing some of the same songs and filling in the gaps where I don't remember the words to my own children at bedtime. And lo and behold, they actually have memorized them. And then when they ask me what it means, I really don't have a good answer, but at least the kids know the bhajans and shlokas. And one thing I'd be happy leaving behind is shaming Indian girls about their body hair, because you all know we've got it and we go through great pains to get rid of it, to make it seem like we are hairless beings, and it's not true, except for maybe a lucky few. So I hope that this next generation and generations forward can just embrace what their mama gave them and their daddies gave them, and just be confident in themselves and not feel like the world is judging them for having body hair.
Hi, Sunny. This is Parin, your cousin. One thing that I want to make sure that the kids have instilled in them is a real appreciation for my mom, their ba. And so we go to visit her every couple of weeks. And one of the things she loves to do is cook for them. Her love language is definitely food. And so it's been really special to see how the kids over the years have really embraced my mom's cooking. And they rarely eat vegetables outside of going to my mom's house for dinner, but they will eat all the shaks. One thing we've left behind, I would say, not necessarily intentionally, is overall Hinduism, and not imparting so much the stories that we grew up with Krishna and Ram and Sita and Radha, the stories that were important to us. That's something that's kind of being left behind, I think, with me and not necessarily so overtly, and is something that's faded away over time.
Hi, this is Chetan. I'm Sandeep's youngest cousin. One thing that my partner Yuvram and I hope to carry forward is the beautiful tradition of festivals. Yuvram comes from southern India. I'm from Gujarat in northern India. And so we have a lot of festivals that are part of our heritage, including Diwali, the Festival of Lights, Pongal, which is New Year in the South, Navratri, which is a 9-day festival of dancing, and Holi, which is the festival of throwing colors at each other. One thing that we hope to leave behind is gendered traditions. So things like women can't go to the temple when they're menstruating, or things like when a father passes, the woman has to wear patterns for a certain period of time. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of gender things. Even for us in our wedding ceremony that we're planning, we've tried to be pretty intentional of working with the priestess on choosing those things that feel more egalitarian and don't carry forward things that are sexist.
Hi, I'm Shailen, Sandeep's favorite cousin, or so he tells me. Our family loves Raksha Bandhan, an annual celebration between brothers and sisters. Sisters wish a long, healthy life and give their blessings to their brothers. The brothers vow to protect their sisters. Nowadays, that protection is in the form of a gift. We're really not carrying forward many of the religious rituals of Hinduism, mostly because we don't understand them. They're in Sanskrit or Hindi, and a lot of times they seem not as relevant to our way of life. But we do appreciate the Hindu philosophies, so we do follow that.
Hey, this is Sham. I am Sandeep's cousin, and one of the things about Indian religions that I like to keep is actually bhajans, or Indian prayers. One of the things that we like about them is kind of the soothing nature of them, the repetitiveness, the rhythm. They're really just fun for our kids. One of the things that I probably want to stop doing too much is actually visiting relatives' households just for the sake of saying I did it. And it's a really interesting Indian tradition of saying, hey, you got to come over to my house. You got to stop by and say hello. It's like, hey, if I have the opportunity, I will, but just for the sake of stopping by, for just traveling and visiting for no apparent reason, really isn't needed as much anymore. I think we have really good digital technologies and Zoom. And if you go to India and you travel all the way out there and you just spend the entire time visiting a bunch of houses and not really enjoying the environment around, it's kind of not as thrilling. Yeah, thanks.
Sing it.
You sing it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how about we sing it together? Sate.
Sate Jamie. Can you sing it together?
Yes. Sate.
Kariye Saragam. Kayamanejo Apene Sate. Gata Vasuta. Sleepy Bhagavan.
Sleepy Bhagavan.
Oh my god.
I actually dozed off because they sung me to sleep. So it was so sweet and peaceful.
I was wide awake. What a talented family you come from. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, they're not bad. They're I quite enjoy them. We just had a big cousins reunion, so it was lovely to also get this together and then to hear my little niece singing was the
That's
best.
so great.
Sleepy Bhagavan. The sleepy one. So Omar, I wanted to ask you, what of those, maybe what was your favorite of the like keeping things going forward and ditching, or the ones that most resonated with you?
Ooh. It would probably be the festivals. And it's just been on my mind lately of just how important festivals are.
Mm-hmm.
And festivals that are not like also like steeped in just consuming things, like going to Walmart and like coming together and doing stuff together. I think that's really important. And specifically Rocky, I grew up going to Chicago once a year or every other year, because my cousins lived out in the suburbs, and we would do Rocky together. So we would go to them every like even year, and they would come to us every odd year. And no matter what, every year we made sure that the cousins did Rocky together. And it's such a huge part of my life. I can't imagine being who I am without it. So that is
I love
huge to me.
that. So then I guess, Shailin, you share the win with Chetan because he picked Raksha Bandhan specifically. Yes. Chetan said. This is going to be a big deal. I'm clarifying because this will be a big deal to my way hyperly over-competitive family. All right, so who wins for the thing that you ditch?
Okay, I really resonated with the sort of thought of like, let's not go to family's house just to go to family's house.
Yes, I know that's such a big thing.
It's a lot of, and it feels really fake, and there's just like a lot of, I don't want to put anyone on blast, but there's like when you go into things like that, there's a lot of trash talk on the drive over and a lot of trash talk on the way back. And do you know what I mean?
Subjecting yourself to gossip and
it's 100% just like, I wonder how it's going to be this time. And then on the way back, I'm just like, I can't believe that person showed up or whatever. I like the idea of our generation kind of, I don't know, pushing that a little bit, evolving it a little bit, where we
I think
are.
it is. I think aren't we the like, we'll meet you at we'll all get together at a restaurant or a bar.
Yes.
And that's fine. You don't have to come over to every single cousin's house.
We don't want to clean. We don't want to force someone else to clean. No. We also know we're all brown. We know that we've also stuffed everything in drawers. Like, we know this. So we know, we know it's
our
not
sweeping
genuine.
under the rug is the random silverware drawer. Like the one drawer we will not let anybody open in the kitchen.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
When families talk about the junk drawer, I'm always like, you won?
I mean, mine is like probably 80% Taco Bell packets. Sauce packets, at least my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is amazing. So Shyam, who is technically my cousin-in-law, I guess, but you know how it goes. He's cousin, you get that point there. So congratulations to you guys. You guys have bragging rights at the next reunion.
But amazing competitors. Amazing contestants.
Y'all did great, okay?
Through and through.
Y'all win a participation award.
Well, that wraps up our discussion about cousins.
Just in time for Auntie versus Auntie Watch 2024. Yeah, that's right. It's our segment where we track the 2024 U.S. presidential election to see just how close we are to achieving a presidential race between Democratic Auntie Kamala Harris and Republican Auntie Nikki Haley. Okay, and I know the primaries are over, but reminder. Well, first of all, they are both technically aunties, okay? They're at least part Indian. And reminder, old Donnie there, facing, I don't know, I think approximately 7 billion indictments. And so he could be off the ticket. And then Joe, he's a malarkey heartbeat away from being reincarnated. So, though it's unlikely, and I don't wish it upon him, okay? I'm not saying that. It's unlikely. It's possible that Auntie versus Auntie could happen. What's our current status, Omar?
The last we checked in was with Anjali Bhamani, friend of the show, Anjali Bhamani, and in discussing with her, it's brought us up to 11 o'clock, with midnight being the farthest from Auntie versus Auntie Watch 2024. It's a very confusing scale. Do we want to change it?
Yeah, we're going to switch it up. We're going to make it percentages.
Okay, great.
So that's she put it 30 minutes back of a 24, let's say 24 sections, 24, 30 minutes. That's approximately math. %.
Oh, so this is supposed to make it easier? Okay, great.
It's 5%, roughly. We're
roughly
at
5%.
There's a 5%
Oh, so we're building up to Auntie versus Auntie Watch 2024.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now, 5%.
Right. 5% chance that it'll be an Auntie off.
Yeah. So now, do we have any updates that might push this up?
Here's the latest that's going on for Mr. Trump. All right. Okay. Storms are coming right now. His first criminal trial for his hush money that he paid to porn star, or allegedly paid to porn star Stormy Daniels, has begun. So he has, of course, pleaded not guilty to all 34 counts of falsifying business records related to this $130,000 payment he made to adult film actor Stormy Daniels at the end of 2016 election cycle to keep her quiet about the fact that they were stooping. The former president, of course, has denied the allegation, but this trial is happening. Jurors are being selected. Like they did the whole thing where they tried to, delay and, throw the case out and all that stuff. it's happening. And Trump, this is the kicker for me. Trump is required to be present at the trial, which can go for up to 6 to 8 weeks. Right? So he's like kind of off the campaign trail.
Yeah.
He's using the trial as the campaign, but.
Listen, I'm an optimist. I'm pushing this up to 10%.
Okay, that's before you've heard the Joe side. Do you want to hear the Joe side?
Yeah, I do want to hear the Joe side.
This is all I've got about Joe.
Okay.
Because there wasn't really any like health scare news or anything like that, thankfully. But literally today, I dropped my parents off at the airport. And my parents were like, "Did you hear? Joe Biden is dropping out of the race." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And like, immediately my wife is like, she goes on, like checks the news and it's like, "What's happening?" And then they were like, "See, look on WhatsApp." And it was just like a total like infographic for fake, like, misinformation filled infographic on WhatsApp that's being passed around. But I'm like, I don't know. See, like they're doing that thing again where they attack seniors with this like garbage to like make it confusing, make it, disillusion them a little bit. I'm not exactly sure what this tactic is, but it worked on my parents for at least, 6 to 8 hours until they told us about it. So that's what I have on the Joe side.
Okay.
So
I was at 10. You updated me about this WhatsApp situation. And because it's your parents, in honor of them, I'm actually pushing it up to 11 because even numbers are unlucky in our culture. You don't give, when you give money, it has to be, it's not $20, it's $21. So I'm going to pop it up to an 11.
I love that. 11 is my dad's favorite number. Actually, it's technically his second favorite number. 22 is his first. I don't know why. Okay, we're moving on from that.
We multiplied it by 2, obviously.
11. Yeah, 11. I love it. I'm sticking with that. I'm with you. 11%, you guys. Let's see how this trial plays out. And see what happens with WhatsApp spam. And
again, not 11 o'clock. We want to be clear. I know we said 11 o'clock earlier. Please don't be confused that we went back to 11. It is 11%. It was confusing before, so we decided to continue to change it.
There we go. 11%. There we are.
Amazing. Well, that clears us out now for us to play a little game.
Since we've been talking a lot about family in this episode, we're going to move into our game this week that we collectively agreed to call We Are All One Big Cousin.
For each question, both of us will have to choose who we think is the actual cousin of a celebrity. Each correct answer will grant us a point. Whoever has the most points after the 3 rounds will win. And if there's a tiebreaker, we'll use that as well.
We'll do that. The loser has to make an apology speech in 1 minute to one of the celebrity cousins that they failed to identify correctly to describe why they're obviously related. And the winner becomes the host, right? We're still doing that.
Yeah.
So, all right, take it away, Delvin.
All right, I'm giving both of you
Okay,
1
that's
point
amazing.
each for those explanations. That was a great job all around.
Amazing. I love it.
Amazing.
All right,
Okay,
first
here we
up,
go.
Jeff Bezos is first cousins with which beloved musician? Country star George Strait, singer and actress Gloria Estefan,
Oh, love her.
rapper, singer, and businessman Pitbull, or all of the above?
Are you joking?
Oh my god. Oh,
This
I
is
want
disgusting.
Pitbull above so badly.
Go
And
for it then.
Pitbull feels like it's obvious because they just look alike. I feel like that's a mistake. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can see that. But I think that Mr. International, Mr. Worldwide,
Yeah. George Strait.
I think that his family, I don't know. I get a vibe from his family, and I don't get a Bezos vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, where are you going?
I'm going Gloria Estefan.
All right, almost on Gloria. Sandeep, where you
Yeah.
I don't know if all of the above is in every single selection. That's my concern, is that it's in all of them. So I'm gonna say Pitbull.
Okay.
We're both
going? I
wrong.
am so sorry.
Is it all of the above?
Don't tell me it's all of the above.
No.
No, it is country singer George Strait.
Should have known that.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
how?
It was just like the most vanilla.
So,
clean,
like,
straightforward.
so when your parent, one of your parents, if their siblings have a child, then that becomes a first cousin. So that happened here. to your question of how.
I didn't know.
We don't need this explanation. People in 2095 need that explanation.
I didn't know. I thought cousins grow on the side of a frog. I had no idea.
Omar's learning so much. Amazing. Okay.
All right, next up.
We still both got a point.
Okay, here we
go. All right. Okay. Snoop Dogg is first cousins with which celeb? R&B singer Brandi Norwood.
Yeah.
WWE star Sasha Banks.
Hell yeah.
Rapper Daz Dillinger. Or all of the above.
It's okay. It's all of the above. Is it all? Okay. All right. Okay.
It's hard. It's hard because...
Yeah. Because we don't know the answer?
Or how cousins work, apparently.
It's because... Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't actually know where Brandy's family came from, right? Like that's the whole thing.
I don't know about any of these families, dude.
Because I know that Brandi has half sisters, and then when she went to the ball, she found love because she left her glass slipper, and then the prince tracked her down and she's the only one who can fit into that glass slipper. She's got the most unique shoe size and shape.
Stop. Oh my god.
So I gotta go Brandi.
The best episode ever? I'm gonna go with all of the above.
I swear to God. Who is it?
One of us got something right.
Oops. That's right. There's only one slide because this is the slide. It's all the above.
You're joking.
That is a point for Sandeep. Very nicely done.
Wait, that's insane.
Yes. All the above. Brandi, Sasha, Daz, all first cousins with Snoop.
How?
Snoop's aunts and uncles really create progeny, man. Famous progeny.
I mean, hell of a family.
There's just too much talent. There's just too much talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right.
Anyone's
President Obama is 10th cousins.
No.
10th cousins.
I hate this.
With which previous U.S. president? Is it Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Donald Trump, or all of the above?
A lot of white guys.
Oh god, I'm like flashbacking to like Red Lion Tavern bar trivia nights from like 15 years ago. Oh god. Amazing. 10th cousins. Aren't we all 10th cousins? Like, I mean, that's like such a, like.
We're all one big cousin.
Well,
I mean, in the end, we know we're all one big cousin. I'm going W. I'm gonna guess. I'm guessing because I want to do it before you do. George W. Bush. You can still pick the same one, but that's.
I'm gonna go. No, I won't because that would be no. Because also you're wrong.
To try to tie here. Yeah.
Because also you're wrong. I'm gonna go Bill Clinton.
It's definitely not Trump. Oh, one of us got it.
One of us.
It is indeed W.
I hate this game.
Very nicely done.
What?
Wow.
Is that why they exchanged candy?
Sandeep, you have mathematically claimed victory in this game. 10th cousins. Not 9th or 11th. 10th.
Yeah. So if they kiss, the world ends, right?
That's how it is. That was that season of Heroes. Oh,
amazing.
Goodness.
All right. Well, loser.
I have to give an apology. Well, I feel like the only one that, within the context of this, it's going to be George Strait. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay. All right, let me get him back up on screen for you.
Yeah, do George Strait, sure. But I think you could do any of the ones you got wrong. Which was all of them, just to remind you.
I'm going to do to George Strait. Okay, for 1 minute, I apologize.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
It has to be like really heartfelt and like a big thing. You can't just like, half-ass it. This has to be real.
All right.
We're sending this to George Strait. We're going to at him in the clip.
Okay, here we go.
And Jeff Bezos.
I can't apologize to Jeff Bezos. I can't. All right, start that timer. Someone start that timer.
Okay, Omar, you ready?
Yeah,
okay,
I'm ready.
And your timer, your 1 minute starts now.
Dear George Strait, write this down. Now, I'm sorry I didn't know that you were cousins. I was trying to win a game, but instead I, well, give it away. I gotta ask, when do you stop loving me? Because I don't know where you are in the world, but I know all my exes live in Texas. But I want to make things right with you, because you look so good in love. Now, don't rush off. I know the cowboy rides away. But you are carrying your love with me.
30 seconds.
And I promise you, if we make it good by tonight, we'll have Amarillo by morning. Now, insults are easy, come easy go. But I just want to dance with you. And baby's gotten good at, well, that one's cut off. I'm sorry, I can't see that what that is. But please sit in the chair.
10 seconds.
Because if we can just make this one night at a time, I swear to you, our ocean front property will be seashores of old men. And every little honky-tonk bar will tell us, I got a car, now run.
And that's time. Wow! Thank you, George.
Classic after classic.
How did people do podcasts before they had internet access at all times during the show?
I want to be clear, I did not look any of those up.
Oh, you memorized the whole entire...
I didn't know he was related to Bezos, but I know everything else about George Strait. You mean George Strait, the country singer who was born in... 1 second.
My favorite part...
The country singer who was born on May 18th, 1952. Anyway.
Okay. Back
Apologies.
when people had cousins, man. My favorite part of that was you at the start of it telling him to write this down. An apology starts with, hey, I want you to do some work. Write this down. You're going to take dictation. Okay.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that'll take us into our last segment, Desi of the Week.
Our Desi of the Week is Virat Kohli. The 35-year-old cricket star Virat Kohli slams his highest IPL score on the way to a massive world record. So he came off a 2-month paternity break. So congratulations on creating more cousins. And Kohli, he's the face of T20 cricket, and he returned to the game, with a bang, proving that, hey, even at the age of 35, I can still knock it out of the park. I'm not sure if that's what out of the pitch. Okay.
In an April match, our Desi of the Week hit 113. That's his joint highest score in the IPL, on the way to becoming the first batter to ever have 7,500 plus runs in the IPL, which is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, okay, so he's got 7,579 runs. Mm-hmm. He's scored 424 runs for the franchise. And for the team, he's scored 8,000 runs, making the first player to score 8,000 plus runs for a single team in the T20 format. And for people like us, honestly, who don't quite understand the breadth of cricket and what a big deal this is, it's kind of like watching someone break the Roger Maris' single season home run record, except that it's cricket, so it happens in one at bat, one, because they just keep going until they get out.
If I may make a Bay Area comparison, he is a game changer like Steph Curry. His aggressive batting style changed the way that bowlers throw at him. Instead of relying solely on line and length, bowlers have started incorporating more variations, pace changes, and deceptive deliveries to keep batsmen like Kohli on their toes. The shift in approach has led to a more dynamic and exciting type of bowling, with bowlers constantly innovating one way to step ahead of him.
See, I love when someone changes the game, right? It's be like, you know what? We're going to start quadruple teaming now. That's a thing because of Steph Curry. You know what? We can't strike this guy out. Let's try to see if the knuckleballer can throw it from second base. See if that change how the game works, because this guy is impossible.
Maybe let the umpire throw it from behind. Who knows? That's kind of...
How about this? I got an idea. Pay the umpire. That's it. Just pay the umpire.
That's an interesting strategy there.
Yeah.
But truly, I think this is the episode that gets us officially following cricket for ABCD.
Yeah, we got to do it. We're going to do it. You're taking us there. Your Patreon
Yes.
contributions are getting us to a cricket game, and we will do a live ABCD from, I don't know what part of the, like from the bathroom. No.
From the bathroom.
The one with like the single trough bathroom that are all the ball.
Excuse us.
those
We're
are the
doing a
worst.
podcast.
Those are the worst. Those are the worst. Like I generally, just this is off topic a little bit, but I have no problem with urinals. Like in terms of like, I have, if someone wants to, I'm not worried about the spacing, but the trough is a little too. It's a little too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. Too much on the television. All right, and that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. As always, if you want to see our lovely faces and the VOD and other ways that you can hang out with us, all that's in the show notes. And please share the show. That's actually forget the comments and the blah, blah, blah. Just share the show with someone who you think would be genuinely into this and wants to be as unconfused about their culture as we do. So that would be amazing. If you do have feedback, we would love to hear ideas for games, ideas for Desis of the Week nominations. They don't have to be famous people. They can be someone in your family, whatever. We're super interested. Hit us up at abcdpodcastshow@gmail.com.
Yes, and I'm going to jump on top of that. If you want to send us any this versus that ideas, we have a lot of fun with that segment. Send them over to abcdpodcastshow@gmail.com and let us know an American thing versus a Desi thing, and we will compare them, fight over them, debate them, and one of us will lose. And I hope it's not me again.
I hope it is. And, so we did forget to do this, didn't we? To get
At the top. That's okay. We can do it right now.
We're going to do it as George Strait. We're going to... Let's just
I like
do
that.
It
Yep.
Okay, so this is our ballad of love to our Patreons who are at the shout-out level in the style of George Strait.
George Strait. Are you ready for this? Take it away, Sandeep.
Should we find a song quick? And just
How would I just hit this and you tell me if it works?
Okay.
I won't be able to hear it, but you tell me if it works.
Yeah, absolutely. We got it.
Okay, let's
Joey
just.
Ryan, Toby M. Carl. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The song's ready then.
Okay,
Go
here
ahead.
we go.
Hey.
Hello,
All right.
everyone.
Hey, this one goes out to my cousin,
George Strait.
Jeff Bezos. Love you, cuz. Send me some money. Joshua Ryan, Toby M. Carlo, Benjamin Lowe.
Rand Hollinger, Michael Long, Raylan Fox, Selena B.
Nervous Rex, Sarah H. Dodeca Dublin Varun.
Moldivore, Philip Davison, Kathleen Schlegel, Ducati.
Reverend Coutinho, Brandon Pace, Monroe Maxwell.
Jeremy Schwartz, Han So Slow, 8-Bit D, Chris Sims.
Don't forget my boy, Danny Wally, Christina Romero, Zach, Danny's Corner, and Fish.
Legion 247, Jeremy O'Brien, Astra, and Brendan Bradley.
Then there are the gods, the top tier of all.
Yeah, sing it!
James Gaffney, Scribbles and Flapjacks, Vaden, Death Queen Bear.
If you're live, stick around with us. We're gonna critique the show afterwards. The show is produced by Nan Shaw and Caitlin Mahoney. The show's technical director is sound designer is Delvin Neville. The show's executive producers are Sandeep, Parikh, and Anon Shah. This is edited by Sean Meyer. Music by Harshal Sisodia, Jasper Singh, and Malik Zaveri. This has been an EffinFunny production. Ha ha.
On behalf of our co-host Omar, I've been your host Sandeep. May your chakras be aligned and smothered in that good old-fashioned Western Southern chutney.